Hi folks, it's Evil here from Thundermist Lure Company. It is great to see you and welcome to today's episode of Thundermist Fishing Tips. I'm out here folks, the Niagara River, and what I want to do today is we're going to try to jig for some of those nice golden walleyes folks, and we're going to run the Flexi-Jig, and the water is relatively clear today. So what I've done is I've decided to go with a straight tail. Oh, there's one. I decided to go with a straight tail jig. Oh, I love that. What a nice hit. Oh boy. As opposed to a thumper tail shad, I decided to go with a straight tailed jig because it's going to cut through this current water much quicker and allow me to get to the bottom much quicker in this clearer water. And I went with a chartreuse Flexi-Jig. And if you've never seen the Flexi-Jig before, it's a jig that the hook actually flexes down. You fish it like a regular jig, but it's not a regular jig. The hook flexes down and changes the whole angle of the hook set. And all I'm doing here, as you saw, I'm just working that jig along the bottom in this current. The whole key to river fishing, folks, is you've got to keep your jig on the bottom. It has to be on the bottom. I know in the Detroit River, they don't anchor like I'm anchored today. I'm anchored, casting, and just jigging. I know in the Detroit River, they drift, and as they're drifting, they're just bouncing that jig, but it's right off the bottom. In fact, just as they do in the Detroit River, I'm also running the 3/4 ounce Flexi-Jig today, which is a nice weight. It's not too heavy and it's not too light. It's heavy enough to get me down there in the current, but yet it's not too light that it's going to keep me off the bottom. Okay, let's take a look at this fish. At least I'm hoping it's a walleye. That's what I'm out here for today. It's got me doubled right over, but it's also a very strong current here too. So I'm fighting the fish and fighting the current. Oh yeah. Let's see what we got here. We got a nice walleye is what we got. Oh yeah, there we go. That's a nice start to my day right there. That's a nice start to my day. Hey, look at that nice chunky walleye right there. Okay, first fish of the day means photo op for Facebook and Instagram. We're gonna get him off and right in the box. Okay, and I didn't even have water in the live well, so I figured I'd better get that going. All right, isn't that a nice start to the day right there? Beautiful, beautiful chunky walleye. Okay, we're gonna get him in the live well, which is starting to fill. I'm gonna get my line back out there again. And again, it's just all about keeping that jig close to the bottom. Now, if you haven't been out, there's the thing about river fishing as well. When you've got a boat, a lot of times you're out trying to get out to the lake. But the problem is the wind. The beauty of fishing rivers is that even on a windy day, you can still fish. You can still fish the river because the chop is not going to be that bad. The waves don't have enough of an opportunity to build up. And because of that, you can always fish a river system. So I'm going to hit that jig, just let it hit the bottom, and just bouncing it along the bottom. Now, I don't know if they've ever tried this technique in the Detroit River. They say that you can't anchor in the Detroit River. I don't know. I'd like to maybe try this someday, Detroit River. See if I can get into a walleye or two there. But the whole key is, like I say, just keeping that jig just on the bottom. Let it hit bottom. Don't bounce it up too much because, oh, there we go. If you bounce it up too much, what happens is the current picks it up and lifts it up, and then you're not really fishing on the bottom anymore. Now you're fishing suspended, and these walleye, they're not going to be suspended, especially in this river current, folks. They're going to be hugging the bottom. You know, in Lake Erie in the summer, these walleye will suspend, 20 feet below the surface, up high, feeding. But in the river system, they're going to be down, hugging the rocks, close to the bottom, and the reason for that is they want to stay out of the current, but yet they want to be able to find the bait fish as it's coming along in the current and feeding on the bait fish. Or in today's case, flexi-jigs and plastics. Oh boy, am I loving this. Walleye fishing, Niagara River. Good thing I filled that live well up. Okay. This one wasn't that far. The first cast was a bit further. Okay, that's another nice chunky fish. That is just, you know, I always talk about it's a good eater. I mean, look at that hook set. That's what I like about the Flexi-Jig, eh? Just get great hook sets with these. You lose a lot less fish. You know, I talk about walleye being great eaters. They're all great eaters, but this is the, I'm gonna say, the ideal size for eating. And speaking of for eating, you know, we don't just fish here at Thundermist Lure Company, we also cook. And you can find me in the kitchen, and I've got a few good recipes out there. One really good walleye one, I'll put a link here for you if you like to eat walleye. It's a great recipe. And I also have a very popular one. Oh, that's the bottom. A very popular one for beer batter, which is really, really good. It's a homemade beer batter, and it really, really comes crispy, and it comes great every single time. Okay, I'll put a link there for you as well. See if I can get myself into another fish. So the whole key, like I say, see how I open my bail up to let my line back out there again. I want to feel that bottom. If you can't feel bottom, just let out a little more line. And then just bounce that jig off the bottom. If you lose bottom, the current's too strong, no problem. We'll just open up a bit. Okay, there we go. Back down we go. Oh my goodness. The sun has decided to come out. And what a solid hit I just got. Holy, that was really something. Now, I don't know if it's a walleye or what, but it's got some weight to it, whatever it is. It's something good. Holy mackerel. What a solid hit. Now, I am running braided line. And of course, a fluorocarbon leader. Now, here's the thing. The clearer the line, the longer the leader. I've got at least a 12-foot fluorocarbon leader on. At least. Okay. I want to get a look at this fish because it bit a little bit differently, but it might just be just a big walleye. It might just be a big walleye. Wow. Just jigging for walleye, folks, is one of my favorite pastimes. I gotta admit. I love it. I love it when they bite. You set the hook. What do I got here? Oh, the anticipation. We got ourselves a good fish here, whatever it is. Oh, let's get a look at him at least. At least get a look at him. Want to lose them. Oh, what do we got there? It's a big walleye. It's a big walleye. Oh yeah, that's what I thought. That is a bigger walleye right there. There we go. Holy! Let's get out of the sun here. Look at this walleye. Holy, that's a bigger fish. Okay, look at this fish. Oh, and look at that hook set. That's what I'm talking about right there. Oh, there's there's a chunk. There's a chunk. Okay, that's worth a photo and a release. That's what that one's worth. A quick photo and a release. Nice photo for Facebook and Instagram. Look at that fish. That's one nice walleye right there. Big, chunky, healthy Niagara River walleye right there. And it felt, he bit different. And when I set the hook, my rod just, just doubled over. Okay. See you later. Wow, it took off like a bullet too. When I went to set the hook, my rod just loaded right up. The rod tip just bent over, and I knew I had something good. I wasn't sure if it was a lake trout or a walleye, but it turned out to be a beautiful walleye. And you know what? It's a beautiful day. The sun has decided to come out. I'm just getting started out here jigging for walleye. If you haven't done it, give it a try. It really is a whole lot of fun. And you know what? If you catch a fish, it's always a bonus. It's being out here that really, really counts. Gorgeous day like today, I'm going to enjoy it. Folks, I want to thank you ever so much for spending time with us and joining me on today's episode of Thundermist Fishing Tips. And as always, folks, until next time, good luck and good fishing. That was really something. Loved it.